Okay, welcome to the last part of chapter 2 as far as the medical legal considerations in crime investigation. Okay. Okay, so the discussion today is all about the evidences of sex, no? Because last time we discussed the medical legal aspect of identification, no? And the topic that has been discussed, the last part is on the determination of sex. And you were able to understand why determination of sex is very important, why it is important. So we mentioned the legal importance of sex determination and try to anchor it in criminal investigation. Is age is important? Yes. So, in rape cases, age is one because a person or a victim of rape who is under 12 years of age, uh, who have carnal knowledge with a man, will be liable of rape. Even there is no force, there is no threat, still there is crime of rape. So, sex, I should say, no. So, sex, not age, So, let us proceed and continue, the discussion and the determination of sex. All right. So, what are the evidences of sex? First is presumptive evidence. Presumptive from the term presumed. So, first is general features and contour of the face. Alam niyo naman, general features, kung ano ang male and ano ang female, based sa face, based sa itsura ng face, alam niyo naman ang itsura ng face ng isang lalaki at saka sa isang babae, Then sa katawan, you can distinguish kung babae yan o lalaki, based on the general feature, Yan. Ganon din sa kamay, Sample yung kamay, sa kamay pa lang pwede mong sabihin na babae yan o lalaki yan. But again, that is on a general aspect. Okay? Then presence or absence of hair in some parts of the body, length of the scalp hair. Yung hair natin sa ulo is scalp hair. Generally, the female have long hair. And of course, for male, it is short. So sa buhok pa lang, we can see that we can presume that the sex is female or male. Then also clothes and other wearing apparel, but not in a transvestive manner. So of course, sa cloth natin, sa pananamit, pwede nating makita yan kung babae o lalaki. Except yung mga cases ng mga transgender natin, that they are wearing apparel or wearing apparel of female. So that is the exception. But generally speaking, by virtue of the cloth or wearing apparel, we can establish the sex. So we have here an abnormality. Sexual deviation is a sexual abnormality. Transvestism is a form of sexual deviation characterized by an overwhelming desire to assume the attire and the accepted as a member of the opposite sex. Yan. So both sa lalaki at sa babae. So if you are assuming the attire of your opposite sex, so kung lalaki ka at nagdadamit babae, or babae nagdadamit lalaki, then you are having the so-called transvestism. That is a sexual deviation. Pseudo-hermaphrodite is another. This is an abnormality where persons have the gonadal tissue of one sex and the behavior of the opposite sex. So ito, ang gonads mo is meron kang testis, meron kang penis, no? Pero ang iyong behavior is behavior of the opposite sex. So, ang galaw mo, pananalita mo, utak mo, is behavior ng isang babae. No? Or vice versa naman sa lalaki. So, yan. So, you have testis, you have penis, but your actions, your behaviors, no, is on the opposite sex. Para kang babaeng gumalaw, magsuot, that is pseudo-hermaphrodite. Okay? Pseudo-hermaphrodite. Then another, as far as presumptive, no, these are presumptive evidence. So, ang pinakamataas na level of the evidence of sex is, of course, highly probable, and the third one is conclusive. Yeah. So, dito pa tayo sa presumptive. So, sa figure, females have prominent pelvis. Kaya sa pelvis, mas maluwang yung pelvis kaysa sa pelvis ng lalaki. No? While those of females are slender. Kaya mas maliit ang, kung tingnan nyo, mas malaki ang buttocks or yung waist ng isang babae compared sa isang lalaki. Ang lalaki, paganyan yan. Yan. Okay? Ang babae, paganyan. Okay? Okay? Kung hindi ganun sa'yo, then nyangin nga ron. But that is the general accepted description for figure. Females have prominent pelvis, then while those of males are slender. Then habit or inclination, voice and manner of speech. So alam nyo naman yan, try to imagine and look at your surroundings and you will understand it. Sa boses pa lang, lalaki na yan or babae. Sa manner of speech, pag maluma na yan, babae. Yan. Kaya pag yung manner of speech mo is parang lalaki, yan, nakakagulo yan. But these are all general accepted descriptions. Okay? So those are the presumptive evidence of sex. Let us proceed. There are important distinguishing presumptive characters between the two sexes. For females, hips are broader in relation to shoulder. Yan. So pag sa female, mas maluwang ang kanyang hips compared sa kanyang shoulder. Then vice versa for male, shoulders are broader than their hips, kaya maskulado. Okay? So, huwag kayong masaktan kung hindi kayo ganon. No? We are talking here of a general aspect. So, generally, ang mga babae, they are smaller in build. So, medyo mas maliit yung katawan nila. No? Generally not developed, very rarely, and maybe developed. Of course, ito, large build. Yan, sa letter B. No? Sa letter C, breast for females, of course, have developed, while for male, not developed, very rarely, and maybe developed in cases like gynecomastia. Yeah. Pero commonly, wala tayong breast. Okay? Pero yung mga iba, nagpapatusok ng mga chemicals, and that is already artificial. But naturally speaking, men or male have no breast, only female. Okay? Then, Adam's apple, not prominent. So, ang mga babae, they have no Adam's apple. But for male, prominent, commonly, merong Adam's apple. So, pwedeng yun ang isang basis. Then, stray present on breast and absent. Tignan niyo yan sa mga babae. Yung meron siyang stray present on breast. Yung may mga kulay-kulay niya dyan na surrounding. Okay? Then, stray present on breast, abdomen, and buttocks in ladies who have born children. No? Alam nyo, pag nanganak yung babae, meron yang makikita mo yan sa near the nipple. Meron siyang medyo dark linings or spots that will indicate that may nanganak yan. So, ganun din sa abdomen. Pag nanganak yan, may mga stretches yan. And buttocks in ladies who have born children. Okay? So, sa mga lalaki, Wala yan. Yeah? Kaya tignan na dito, sana nyo, walang marks yan. No? Then, letter F. Pubic hair is straight and stop short above the mons, mons generis. Yan. So, ang pubic hair ng babae, nag-i-stop yan. Hindi yan tumataas hanggang sa pusod, hindi na yan nare-reach. Compared sa isang lalaki, ang pubic hair, thick, curved, and upward, extending to the umbilicus hanggang sa pwede pang nakikita yan sa, kaya pag tinaas ng lalaki yung kanyang t-shirt, pwede mong makita yung pubic hair. Kasi tataas yan. Then, letter G, hair absent on face sa mga babae, kaya commonly walang mga hair yan, abdomen and chest. Pero sa mga lalaki, hair is present on chest commonly, and mustache and beard. Then female skull is smaller, no? Then male skull is longer, heavier, and thicker, thick bones. Okay, so those are some comparisons of presumptive characters. These are presumptive evidence. Okay. Then trunk abdominal segment is larger, smaller. Then thigh is conical, while the thigh of female or male is cylindrical. Okay. All right. So the next is, of course, highly probable evidence of sex. Medyo mataas yan compared sa presumptive. As to evidence of acceptance. Possession of vagina, uterus, and accessories in female and penis in male is one highly probable evidence of your sex. Then presence of developed and large breast in female is one highly probable evidence of your sex. Then muscular development and distribution of fat in the body. And lastly, for conclusive evidence, there is the presence of ovary. Yan, kasi nasa loob yan. No? Mapapalitan mo man yung penis mo, but mahirapan ka sa iyong ovary and your testis. No? Yan, kasi nasa loob yan ng katawan natin. So if you have ovary, you have testis, then those are conclusive. They are the most or the highest evidence of your sex, your ovary and your testis. Okay? So that is all about the determination of sex. Next is the legal importance of determination of age naman tayo. So age. What is the importance of determination of age as an aid to identification? Mention of the age of the wanted or missing person will create an impression of the physical characteristics, social life, and psychic and mental behavior of that person. Although it may only be presumptive, it may be useful in identification. So age also is very important to determine the liability or criminal liability. Yeah. See, in our law, we have Republic Act number 9344 that exempts 15 years old and below from any criminal liability. That is why age is very important to determine. Okay? Determination of capacity to contract marriage. So, sometimes, pag below 18 ka at nagpakasal ka, that will be a ground of the declaration of the marriage as null and void. Yan, kasi kailangan 18 and above. Okay? So, any male of the age of 16 and upward and female of age of 14 not under the impediments mentioned may contract marriage. Yan. Okay? So, may age yan. Bago ka mag-asawa at pwedeng kasal, kailangan mo ma-reach yung age na yan. Okay? Then, as a requisite for certain crimes, yan. Okay? Yung sinasabi ko kanina, that even there is no force, no? There is no fraudulent machination, but the age of the victim is under 12 years of age, is still pwede kang sampahan ng kaso na rape. Tinatawag yan na statutory rape. Then, yan. Okay? Also, age is very important in the investigation of infanticide because you have to establish the age of the victim. It should be under 72 hours of age. Yeah. Okay? Less than 3 days. Yeah. So, kailangan importante ang age dyan sa crime of infanticide. No? Then qualified seduction, the seduction of a virgin over 12 years of age and under 18 years of age. So, ganyan yung importante ang age determination in the crime of seduction para masabi mo and prove that there is qualified seduction and likewise infanticide, then you have to prove the age. Simple seduction also, consented abduction. Age is very important. Okay? Then determination of the age of fetus. Paano naman kung may natagpo ang fetus no, na itinapon? So, hindi mo naman pwedeng matanong yung fetus, hindi mo rin pwedeng matanong yung mother because commonly you cannot locate them. So, therefore, we can estimate it using techniques. So, determination of feature, application of the Hess rule or Hass's rule. For fetus of less than 25 centimeter long, get the square root of the length in centimeter, and the result is the age of the fetus in months. Example, if the length of the fetus is 16 centimeter, then possibly the age is 4 months. Okay. Second, for fetus 25 centimeters or more, divide the length of the fetus by 5, and the result is the age in month. Example, the age referred to in the rule, not calendar month. So 1 lunar month is equivalent to 28 days. Okay? So examination of the product of conception. Ito naman is yung mga naianak na. No? So age and nature of the product of conception. So pwedeng ang isang bata na lumabas kung iyan ay 1.6 centimeter, weighing 2.6 grams, the eyes are seen as two dark spots and limb buds present, then possibly the age is 1 month. Yan. Pag yung ovum is about 4.0 centimeter long and weighs about 10 grams, then that is 2 months. Okay? Yan. So, paano mo man nasabi that it is 3 months yung isang product of conception? No? 8 centimeter, 3 months na yan. Okay? Pag 13 centimeter, 4 months. Pag length is 23 centimeter, 5 months. Pag 6 months, yan. Length is 30 centimeter. Okay? So ito yung product of conception is yan na yung pag nabubuo na yung bata sa loob ng sinapupunan. Okay? Okay? 7 months, ang length niya is 18. Kaya pag may mga tagpuan ganyan, 18 centimeter, baka 7 months yan old. No? Pag 8 months naman, 42 centimeter. 9 months is 45 to 50 centimeter. Then, testis, descended to the scrotum. So yan, pag 9 months, yan na. Diyan yung normal na lalabas na yung isang product of conception in the 9 months. So, ang weight is 3 to 3.5 kilograms. Yan, 45 to 50 centimeter. Yan. So, pag lumabas na yung bata, so a while ago is fetus. Yan yung talagang fetus pa lang yan. Yan, product of conception, yan yung development ng bata sa loob. No? Habang dumadaan ang months hanggang sa 9 months, yan, product of conception yan. Ngayon, pag lumabas naman yan, infancy, yan. So, ang newborn, full term. Ang height niya is 50 centimeter. 6 months. After 6 months, 60 centimeter. After 1 year, 68 centimeter. After 4 years, double the birth height. Yeah, double the birth height. So 50, 100 centimeter. Kung ano man. No? Then weight ng newborn is 2.5 to 3 kilograms. Yan. Ang weight niya is 0.5 kilogram per month ang increase per month. Okay? At the end of 6 months, child doubles the birth weight. Yan. So pag magsi 6 months na yan, kung 2.5 ang ano niya, pagiging 5 yan commonly. Then at the end of 1 year, child weighs 3 times the birth weight. Okay? These are estimation. Then age determination in childhood and adulthood. Yeah. So age based on the eruption of teeth, temporary, deciduous, or milk teeth. Yeah. So pag 6 months na yung bata, lalabas na ang lower central incisor. Yeah. Lower central incisor. Okay? Yeah. Pag 6 months na yan, lalabas na ang upper central incisor. Okay? Yeah. Kaya ang naunang lumalabas sa ngipin ng bata is lower central incisor. Okay? Then 9 months is the lateral incisor. I hope you know these names of teeth. 12 months is the first molar. Canines is 18th month. And second molar is second year. These are for temporary. Kasi ang mga bata, no, may mga temporary teeth yan. Nawawala yan. Napapalitan yan ng permanent teeth as his age goes by. Okay? Then permanent teeth. First molar is 6th year. Central incisor is 7th year. Lateral incisor is 8th year. First bicuspid is 9th year, 10th year is second bicuspid, 11th year is canine, second molar is 11th to 12th year, 17th to 18th, yan yung third molar, yan yung wisdom tooth. Okay? All right. Then other points to consider in the determination of age. Growth of pubic hair, beard, and mustache. So wala namang naipanganak na meron na agad-agad pubic hair or meron na agad bird or meron na agad mustache. So, pag meron ng mustache or bird or pubic hair yung isang tao, then pwede mong ma-determine yung kanyang age. Okay? So, the pubic hair begins to appear at the age of 13 for female. So, mas naunang magkaroon ng pubic hair ang female compared sa male na 14 years old. So, pag ikaw, yeah. Pag ikaw 10 years old, meron ka ng pubic hair, then you are gifted for that matter. But generally, 13 for female and 14 in male. The growth of thick, dark hair is well marked on the pubes, scrotum, and axilla at about 16 to 17 years of age. Mustache and beard begins to appear in male at the age of 16 to 18. Yeah. Okay? Changes in the breast for female. Huwag ka nang umasa sa lalaki ka. The development of breast in female commences at the age of 13 to 14. So 13 to 14, nag-umpisa na yung ma-develop. Yan. Kaya pag nag-umpisang ma-develop, pwede mong masabihin na nasa 13 to 14 years old na yan. So ngayon, nagbabagong panahon, may mga 10 or 9 or 11, meron na. But generally speaking, 13 to 14. Okay? The development of voice. Males develop low-tone voice between the age of 16 to 18, no? While females change their voice at the same period. Males become low-pitch and females become high-pitch. Changes in the color of the hair. The black color of the hair becomes gray after 40. Yeah. So yung hair natin is from black pero naging gray. So ang black color of the hair becomes gray after 40. No? But of course, that is not absolute. May mga iba na may mga gray hair na. So, hindi ibig sabihin 40. But generally speaking, pag naging gray na lahat talaga yan at nag-umpisa ng magpalit ng kulay from black to gray, then nasa age of 40 and above ka na. Silver white color may have seen in advanced old age na yan. Sometimes gray hair appears in younger people. Yan. Localized areas of gray hair may be due to neuralgia or other diseases of the fifth cranial nerve. Pubic hair may turn gray at the age of 50. Okay? So, nagiging gray na yan. Grade or year in the school or college. Usually, children enter the primary school at the age of 7. They finish high school at the age of 17. Graduation, yan. So, pwede mong ibase ang taon sa kanyang grade or year in the school. So, noon, pero sa ngayon, nagbago na ang ating school system. So, noon is 16, 15, 16, 17, college, first year college na yan. Pero ngayon, almost ang first year college is nasa 18, 19, 20. Ang grade 1 naman ngayon is of course the same, it is 7. No? Yan. Kasi ang bata nag-umpisang mag-aral yan at the age of 3 sa daycare, 1 and 2, 4, then 5 and 6, kinder 1 and 2. So you see that? Okay? Then menstruation naman. So pwede mong ma-determine ang age through menstruation for women. No? Menstruation usually commences at the age of 12 yan, sa mga babae. But in warm countries, it may start at an earlier stage. Degree of mental development. Yan. So pag-iisip din, pwede mong ma-determine ang age ng tao. No? Kung magaling siyang magsalita, alam niya ang ginagawa niya, nasa tamang edad yan. No? Then manner of dressing, yan. Self-beautification, and social life, you can determine the age of the person. Yan. Kung ikaw nagpapampers ka pa or diapers while you are first year college, then basically that is not tantamount to the age of a college student. Baka ikaw ay bata pa. Yeah. Pero pag nag-umpisa ka ng magporma, nasa age ka na, teenager ka na. Okay? Then, atheromatous changes of blood vessels, opacity of the lens and cornea. Then wrinkleness of the skin usually appears after 40 years old. Yan naman pag nakukulubot na ang skin mo, pwede mong ma-determine ang age. Dito, 40 and above, nag-uumpisa na yan. Okay? Yan. So that is all about the determination of age. Let us proceed on the determination of blood. No, that is very important because in the crime scene, no, if there is a blood, you have to establish whether that is a blood of an animal or of human origin. Okay, so there are kinds of different characteristics of blood, no, from different sources. So meron tayong actually, they're saying that the color of the blood when it is inside your body is green. No? Pag lumabas na yan, nakikita natin is red. Arterial blood is bright scarlet in color. Para masabi mo that is arterial blood, no? Ang characteristics niya is bright scarlet in color, leaves the blood vessels with pressure, high oxygen contents. Yan ang venous blood, if that is dark red in color, does not spill from the wound and low oxygen content. Menstrual blood, it does not clot. No? Yan. Hindi yan, alam nyo, hindi yan tumitigas. Acidic in reaction owing to mixture with vaginal mucus. On microscopic examination, there are vaginal epithelial cells contains large number of Deoderlanes bacillus. Man's or woman's blood, no matter differentiating man's or woman's blood, no method. Child's blood at birth, it is thin and soft compared to that of an adult. Okay? So that is about blood. Then determination of hair and fibers. All right. Okay, so let us proceed on the other methods of medical legal identification is the use of hair and fibers to identify someone, no, or its origin. So hair and fibers must not be taken for granted when you're conducting a collection and identification of evidence, because you can use them as tracing evidence, no, against the suspect. So how to identify hairs and fibers? Addition of a substance that will coat the outer surface of the hair so as to impart a different color, no, is salt, bismuth, lead, silver, and pyrogallic acid. Addition of substance which bleach or change the natural color of a fiber is the use of hydrogen peroxide, chlorine, and diluted nitric acid. Okay, so there are types of human hair: terminal hair, vellus hair, and the lanugo. Yeah. So ang terminal hair, this is a type of natural hair to which most people refer in their everyday lives. It is the type of hair that grows on your head, in your pubic regions, and almost all parts of your body. A hormone called androgen controls this body hair, also known as androgenic hair. Ang vellus hair naman, these are frequently referred to as pitch fuzz. It's the short, fine, colorless hair found all over the body. During puberty, vellus hair can turn into intermediate or terminal hair. Vellus hair helps to regulate body temperature. Okay, this type of natural hair associated with women and young children. These are fairly unnoticeable. In cases of many men, vellus hair is often obscured by noticeable terminal hair. Ito yung mga hindi common na nakikita. They are very soft and very little. And yung isa namang lanugo, these are the special downy hair that completely cover the human baby inside the womb. It is like hair, but before the fetus is born, the lanugo hair is replaced by vellus hair. So anorexic women have also been known to have this type of hair on their arms. Okay, parts of the hair, that is the hair shaft and yung shaft yung nahawakan natin. Then sebaceous gland within our skin, hair bulge, yeah, okay, okay. Alright. So yan yung parts of hair. So alam nyo, ang hair na yan, sa ngayon because of technology and we have now DNA analysis, we can use hair and subject it for DNA analysis. Okay? Yan. And also types of fibers. Ang hair at saka fibers, makaiba yan. No? Ang fiber is the smallest unit of textile material. Commonly, nanggagaling yan sa clothing apparel ng isang tao. No? So fiber is the smallest unit of a textile material that has a length many times greater than its diameter. Fibers can occur naturally as plant and animal fibers, but they can also be man-made. Okay? So fibers are considered as a form of tracing evidence, okay, that can be transferred from the clothing of a suspect to the clothing of the victim during the commission of a crime. Fibers can also transfer from a public source such as carpet, bed, or furniture at the crime scene. Kaya tignan yan, okay? So fabric, yan. Anong pagkakaiba ng fiber at saka fabric? Fabric is made from fibers, okay? Fibers are usually made up of twisted filaments that can be classified as either natural or artificials, okay? Yeah. So ano ang ginagawa para magkaroon ng fabric? It is fiber. Textiles also are fabrics woven in a distinctive pattern, okay? Yeah. So types of fiber. Number one is acrylic fiber. These are made up of a synthetic polymer called acrylonitrile. Okay. Okay, so acrylic, commonly used in sweaters. Yeah. Second type of fiber is nylon, also known as polyamides. These are high performance semi-crystalline thermoplastics. Yeah. Third is polyester, a synthetic fiber derived from coal, air, water, and petroleum. Then rayon is a natural-based material that is made from cellulose obtained from wood pulp. Yeah. So linen is a natural fiber like cotton, but it takes longer to harvest and make into fabric. Cotton is a natural hollow fibers. They are soft, cool, known as breathable fibers and absorbent. Cotton fibers can hold water 24 to 27 times of their weight. Acetate is one of the principal types of synthetic fibers. The fiber-forming substances is cellulose. Number 8 is olefin, a synthetic fiber made from alkenes. Yan, pakibasa na lang ninyo. Okay. Then wool is a textile fiber obtained from sheep. Then silk is a natural protein fiber produced by insect larvae to form cocoons. Yan, silk. Okay. So that is all about hair and fiber identification. Okay. Then another is the identification using DNA or DNA fingerprinting or DNA typing. So this is a procedure consists of obtaining a sample of the cells. This is the most, the most modern way of personal identification. So nung ginagamit sa DNA analysis, it is with the examination of your DNA. That is the genetic blueprint of a human being. No? DNA, the oxyribonucleic acid. So DNA itself, ang DNA is nasa parte yan ng katawan natin, is discovered in 1869 by Swiss researcher Friedrich Nestor, who was originally trying to study the composition of lymphoid cells. Instead, he isolated a new molecular, he called it nuclein. Yeah. Then Alec Jeffreys naman is he discovered a technique of genetic fingerprinting in a laboratory in the Department of Genetics at the University of Leicester, known as DNA analysis in 1984. So ang DNA analysis is discovered in 1984, while DNA has been discovered in 1969. Okay, then another is biometrics. Yeah. Ang biometrics naman, that is also a modern one, way of identification. The most suitable means of identifying and authenticating individuals in a reliable and fast way through unique biological characteristics. Biometrics is the science that involves the statistical analysis of biological characteristics. Yeah. Biometrics allows a person to be identified and authenticated based on recognizable and verifiable data, unique and specific. Yeah. So biometric identification consists of determining the identity of a person. The aim is to capture and item biometric data, and this data is then compared to the biometric data to several other persons kept in a database. Yeah. So ano yung mga example of biometrics? Signature recognition, face recognition, fingerprint, DNA matching, vein patterns recognition, voice recognition. These are some of the common. Yeah. So gamit ang mukha mo, ang fingerprint mo, ang hand mo, ang iris mo, ang DNA mo. Pwede rin ang behavioral, keystroke, signature, and voice. Pwede kang ma-identify through biometrics. Sa ngayon, sa election natin, commonly kinuha na yung ating biometrics through our fingerprints, for purposes of identification. Okay, so that is all about chapter 2. Chapter 2 is all about okay, so that is all about chapter 2. on the medical legal aspects of medical legal considerations in crime investigation. So do not forget that whatever topics that has been discussed in chapter 2, these are very important and are very important, especially in the conduct of criminal investigation. No? So this last topic that we mentioned is all about medical legal aspects of identification. These are very important when we are conducting crime investigation or specialized crime investigation, especially on the determination of the suspect, no? The identity of the suspect. So, whether female, ilang taon yan, babae ba yan o lalaki, ano ang kanyang occupation. So, you see, by using those, we can determine and establish, we can build a case about a certain investigation, no? So, try to read further, no? And basically, this will be part of your midterm examination, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, so with that, I hope you will use this properly, and we will see again each other for the next presentation. Okay, thank you, and be safe and be good and be disciplined always. All right.